How we doing? And thanks for being here tonight. I have Dave Portnoy over there. He's going to be sort of a sideways person for me going in, and I'm going to be playing a video from him. But I really just wanted to do something today because I've been sitting anxious on my couch. I work from home. I'm pretty good at what I do, so I like to be able to do four or five things at the same time. And Bombers Blitz popped into my head, and I tell you what, I've got to let it out, as it were. And you guys, I hope you're here to watch because I should be pretty entertaining here in a few minutes. But I want to thank you for joining Bombers Blitz on the College Football Mafia Network. I'm your host, Nathan Bomber Brown, network, channel, whatever. Um, yeah, it's been a crazy week so far. I will say that, right? We've had a week where you're not sure what to take from it. You're not sure if people are playing you, maybe, or if you should take it seriously. Being from a normally not all the way up fan base, a lot of people don't like BYU so much. So being a Big 12 fan, being a fan of all the schools in football that actually go out and play games to earn things, and we should do that, right? Aren't we? Uh, what's the word? Egalitarian works, but aren't we a group that goes out and we work hard? We want to be rewarded for our work and not necessarily given just anything. I mean, it's great if you get a raise, right? That's great for you. It's great for your career. It's great for your family. But is that why you go to work every day? To impress them? Or do you do what you do? Are you strong in your own self and respect yourself for all the work that you do? Um, and you go to work for other reasons, right? You go to work for other reasons. And I think this is a situation where we are going to be talking in the next little bit about schools that have actually gone out and tried to play games to get into the college football playoff. I know it's shocking. Uh, but one example, and there will be many I will bring up, but one example is just that one school is playing in a conference championship game and another isn't. Now you could say, well, they didn't earn the right to be there in their conference. Okay, that's cool if they're in a conference, but you happen to be a school that you don't have to do anything but come out, do your 12 appearances, and pretty much every year you're going to be guaranteed a CFP spot. That's not earning anything. That's you taking your spot because that's going to be there because of who you are. And look, who you are does not stay the same. Every day, who you are changes, which is why you have schools that go up on big runs. And then you have schools, and I'm just going to say it, Oklahoma State, fan of Oklahoma State. I have been not only shocked, but very dismayed what's happened to that school. They deserve a lot more respect than they're getting. Their history is fantastic. But Oklahoma State has now had 2 down years. And you can say, well, it was the coach, it was this, it was that. At the end of the day, your perception of your school can go like that. And there's probably only 8 schools in the entire country that really don't have to do anything. And that respect meters are still going to stay high. There are schools in the SEC that aren't even on that list, like Ole Miss this year. I don't know how they're in the CFP if they don't even have a coach. I mean, we're not even going to get into that tonight. So that's kind of what this is. And it's been cool because I've seen a lot of people come out and fight for something that they're not necessarily tied to. And in this case tonight, it's going to be about BYU. I'm going to talk about Miami. I'm going to talk about Utah. Um, Schools that are doing everything they can to go out and win, but circumstances aren't giving them a chance. And yet, all you got to do is get in, right? All of us just want an opportunity to be in, to at least have an attempt. Um, Miami's in that boat, right? Just a couple of games, they didn't play their best, and now they can't even get to their conference championship game, but they are the best team in the ACC. So, are we getting best teams or is it brands? And if it's brands, I could easily see Miami getting in a 12 team. Their brand is fantastic. So it's this hodgepodge. They make up their minds early, and then they slot schools to meet that narrative. The CFP does. It's always been bad, everybody. It's always been bad. Since the first Bowl Alliance came in, it's always been slanted towards brands. College football always has. And you can argue whether that's good or bad, but at the end of the day, the brands get a little bit more deference. They're a lot more forgiveness, Alabama and Florida State. And they can ignore everybody else, literally not even reference anybody else if it doesn't fit their narrative. And I got some examples of that tonight. So that's kind of what this exercise is going to be tonight. We're going to go through some stuff. I'm going to try to give you data because, I'm not the data guy. I do data farm, though, and I'll go out and I'll find all the work that maybe you guys haven't seen and see if I can't just maybe change some narratives around the way the CFP is currently running. That's kind of what I'm trying to do tonight. I can't undo 40 years, 50 years of, I can't unwind what's already happened. But we are in a new situation here with transfer portal, with NIL, recruiting. Now you can't sit on 4 and 5 star players without playing them, or they'll leave. They'll go somewhere else. So that natural sort of distillation is helping the rest of college football. It's helping a Big 12 get 5-star kids, right? Utah just signed 1 or 2 of them. That's pretty much the best in their history. They've been able to have access to players like that. And yet here they come, and it's because they see the vision of the coach that's there. They can see where this thing's going. Now, I happen to disagree where that destination may be. I don't know if I want to get on a sidetrack too much, but Kyle Whittingham's still a coach at Utah. And if I was a Utah fan, Wild Utes come out publicly and said it's time for him to go. And Wild Ute, you're not going to find a better fan for Utah football than Wild Ute is. And he's like, yeah, we need something different. Kyle hasn't gone anywhere. He's still sitting there. In fact, he's recruiting at an extremely high level. And there is the idea that maybe he decides not to retire. You coach stays too long at the farm, you end up with an Oklahoma State situation. Clemson, even. I mean, is Dabo Swinney a little over, right? I'm not saying he is. I said, is he? So that's kind of what we're going to do tonight for a little bit. I hadn't planned on doing a show, so this is just for fun. I hope everybody enjoys themselves. This is not supposed to be work. I'm inviting everybody to leave a comment in the comment section. If you want a post to be read, you want me to get it out on the air, so whoever's watching tonight will be able to see it later. Your opinion does matter to me. I don't know how much it matters to you guys to get it out so everybody sees it, but you can make it a super chat to do that. Or you can become a new member of the College Football Mafia family. I defer to member comments unless there's a super chat or we get a new member comment. It's kind of how it goes. If you're new around here, it's pretty easy to sort of fit in. I don't. I'm not Josh Pate, so you're not going to get the kind of resource access that he has at Pate State. But certainly around here at the College Football Mafia channel, we do hard work and we do the research to try to come out and have good opinions. And whether you agree with them or not, that's not the point. Is this something that you think is important? I really appreciate everybody that's taking the time to join up tonight. I will quickly do some shout outs. And I don't know, it might not be quickly. It depends how many comments you guys leave. We're already, a few people watching tonight. So I'll try to get to as many of these comments tonight as I possibly can. Daniel Gygax, hi Bomber. I'll have to catch the replay. And first, you are first, Daniel. Daniel has an event tonight. I think it's a game of some sort, but have fun, Daniel. That's me saying hi. Conundrum in the house. Good to have you in the Conundrum. Hey, Cody Campbell Conference kids. Am I allowed in your clubhouse? Yes. Yep. I am a Cody Campbell Conference guy. I love Cody Campbell. I hope to get him on the show again. Guys, fantastic interview. So smart. You can tell why he's been successful, billionaire. Them running Texas Tech has just been amazing. And everybody across the country should be trying to duplicate it. You don't build just with money. You have to build with character, and that's what we got going at Texas Tech. Skaven, yes, in the house saying hello, Bomber. Good to have you here, Skaven. So much. I really appreciate you being here tonight. Let's see, Mosito X in the house. Hello, College Football Mafia community. Thank you so much, Mosito. Jan Holt checking in from the one, the only Slovenia. I think that's right, Jan. Jan is in Slovenia. We are an international channel around here. We appreciate everybody that does tune in on YouTube or however else you're watching us. And thank you very much for being here, Jan. Devil Frog, OG Mafia member. Good to have you here, Devil Frog. The Ole Miss that went 11-1 no longer exists. BYU should be in. Ole Miss should be out. That is if we're applying the same logic equally that kept Florida State out. And obviously, well, I definitely think they should have dropped, if not gone out. BYU should be higher. 7 or 8 is what I've heard, is what they should be at right now. And the FSU comparison, they used that as an excuse 2 years ago. Last year, the comparison to keep BYU out is they just didn't talk about them at all. Didn't talk about them at all. And in doing so, you erase the brand from consciousness, and you can just put whoever you want in there because nobody's arguing. This year, people are arguing, but not last year. They'll make it up again. Another rule they came up with last year, Devil Frog, was that if you're in a championship game, you don't go down. You're still in the thing. And I got something on that tonight. So let's get through these shout-outs, and then I'll definitely get to some of these posts you guys are going to love. PSU Nitwit, how you doing, brother? Nothing but good feelings for Penn State. I've always been a Penn State fan. The James Franklin Odyssey has just been a joke for Penn State. They had a horrible signing day yesterday, but maybe they've got their coach. Campbell from Iowa State has emerged all of a sudden, popped up tonight. He's been on and off, but that's kind of where you're at. Nitwit, tell us what you think about that coach. I'm sorry we had to keep Kalani. I'm sorry. I was part of that fan group, though, that he describes the love bomb thing. I put out several comments Monday and Tuesday trying to convince him to stay. I'm not saying he did it because of me. I'm just saying I know I worked it. This is brutal. And I couldn't find it. It's in my bookmark somewhere, but we want to earn it on the field. The quote from Brett Yormark. How horrible is that comment coming back now? We want to earn it on the field. The Big 12's big time. Let us play. And then they don't. You got a team right there. Slot them in. It's over. And Brett, his strategy has been a complete disaster. And I will just throw on top of that, there is some logic to the saying that maybe the Big 12 didn't want BYU in there. They did not come out and provide support until just the last couple days. They were completely silent for over a month of CFP voting. An entire month, they did nothing. To talk about Texas Tech, how about Texas Tech? Top 4 school in the entire country. You've heard nothing from the Big 12. So, I don't know. I'm kind of a conspiracy guy. I could see the Big 12 being part of let's keep it down. Let's get 7 SEC teams in here. I don't know. But what's been going on this year, and Brett Yormark and the Big 12 office all of a sudden woke up last night, started putting out a bunch of stuff. But it's too late. Guys, this should have happened a month ago. So I'm going to be extremely critical of the Big 12 all offseason, just so everybody knows. Let's see here. Get to some more comments. Why is that not doing that? Sorry. Trying to mark one. It's not letting me. Mosito, Conundrum. All right. Let's see. Husker Magic in the house representing the Nebraska Cornhuskers. Good to have you here, man. I love Nebraska. College football is much better when Nebraska is elite. That's all I'm going to say. I miss Osborne very much. Have you heard that Matt Campbell is departing ISU in favor of being PSU's next football head coach? Has that been confirmed, Husker? All I've seen is he's talked to him. I didn't see anything where it was actually a hire. If you have that information, please put it in the comments, and I'll try to get to it. Caden the Diesel Freak checking in. Good to have you here, Caden. Ohio State, top of the heat, brother. Let's see. Good evening, College Football Mafia. Good to have you here. Appreciate you. Let's see. Try to get more comments before I get to. There's no new comments, so I'm just going to go with that. All right, everybody. So this is going to be a show where I kind of bust through a bunch of things, and maybe after every box, everything I show you, we'll go from thing to thing, and maybe I'll pause, and I want to get some of your comments about it, everything that's been going on with the CFP and how they screwed it up, just royal. But this is where I got to start, and he is absolutely my favorite guy, and I had him up just when everybody joined the show. This is Dave Portnoy, who has fallen in love with BYU football, everything about the brand. Dave Portnoy has committed. I'm going to post a link to his. There's the link to his Twitter post today. This is 2 minutes and 48 seconds. I'm going to let the whole thing run. I do apologize, but Dave cusses a little bit, so if that puts you off, I take responsibility for it. I couldn't find one that was all cut up for that, and the language doesn't bother me so much. So I'm going to play this, and then we will come back to comments. You guys keep leaving comments. I want to hear them. Let's talk. All right, here we go.
Okay, I got to do this final rant. Everybody's been talking about BYU since the rankings came out, the committee. They are absolutely, undeniably getting screwed. One of the bigger screw jobs in the history of this stupid committee. And here's my problem. I'm sick of the debate. I'm sick of people trying to make cases for Notre Dame versus BYU or Miami. There is no debate. By every single metric known to mankind, BYU should be ranked ahead of Notre Dame. It shouldn't matter if BYU wins or loses the Big 12 championship. Saying they can play their way in is irrelevant. They're getting held to a different standard than every team in the history of this thing. No team in 30 years in the BYU in the Big 12 has had one loss and been outside the top 10. It's ridiculous. They played a better schedule than Notre Dame. They have 2 better wins than Notre Dame. They have half as many losses as Notre Dame. Notre Dame doesn't have one good win on their entire schedule. It's a joke, so don't debate it. My biggest issue about this is the committee pissing on my face, pissing on my head as Provo Dave and telling me it's raining. Don't try to justify. Just be like, you know what, BYU, we don't care about you. We don't care about the Big 12. Bye-bye. This isn't a resume. This isn't who has the better season. This is just what makes the most money, who has the most local recognition. It has nothing to do with what you're doing on the field. Alabama played good in the first quarter. Alabama lost by 30 to Florida State. Shut up with all these things. There is no debate. Anybody who's even trying to come up with rationalization for this is a joke. If you're a Notre Dame fan, just say, hey, it's good to be Notre Dame. It's good not to have one good win on the entire season. It's good that we don't have to do anything. But since we have those Golden Domer helmets and we don't have to play in a conference, we get an advantage versus everybody else. It's figure skating. It's gymnastics. It's judgment. It's subjective, but not even subjective, because anybody with a brain, anybody who looks at a blind resume knows it has to be BYU. So BYU's getting fucked. Stop debating it. It's fine. I think we go in and beat Texas Tech, who, by the way, I don't understand. And I want Texas Tech in. They deserve to be in. But somehow a 2-loss Texas Tech team gets in, but not a 2-loss BYU. It's so stupid. Fine, it is what it is. It's Cougars against the world. It's Provo Dave against the world. That's how it's going to be. But don't sit there and try to debate it. Make it rational. It's not. Nobody with a brain would ever say that. BYU is just absolutely getting fucked by every metric possible. Sorry for swearing in this rant. I know we don't do that in Provo, but Provo Dave is the exception. Provo Dave will say fuck.
So he said it, I didn't. I told you the language doesn't put me off so much. What puts me off is getting screwed. That's what puts me off. Where's my picture? Right here. I don't know how any of this could be justified from a numbers perspective. I have data. Yes, I have data. Where are we at? So this is not, I want to be very clear. This little thing I'm doing here, Notre Dame just happens to be in the way. And the reason they matter so much is because they're not in a conference, right? That's the reason that matters so much. So let's go here. Share this tab instead. Let me bring this up. And then you guys can decide kind of what I'm saying here. Okay, so these are the metrics after all the games are played. Everything's done. All we have left is championship games, which, by the way, now have been pretty much proven to be idiotic. If I was Texas Tech, I would not want to play a game. I would not want to be playing this weekend at all. It doesn't make any sense that you have your best teams have to play an extra game. It's absolutely ridiculous. What it should be is the reverse. The teams that are trying to get in should play that extra game. Okay, and I'm going to get to something else that's going to show that in a little bit. But really quick, okay, let's just talk. This is way simple. This is the simplest one I've come across, and I'm using it. Now I need to post the link for it. Copy link so everybody can. We always give credit to the creators. I didn't invent this. In fact, I forwarded it. It was from. Actually, I can't remember where it was forwarded from, but it's their graphic. Oh, it's right there. Showtime College Football, who, by the way, is a really cool cat. You get a chance to talk to him. I'm going to shoot him a note after this too. So these are official metrics. You can't change the numbers. The games have already been played. All the greens mean you're better. Okay. I think math is 11-1 is better than 10-2. You guys correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that's not it. But I think 11-1 is better than 10-2. Wins versus college football ranked opponents. BYU's got 2. Notre Dame has 1. Wins versus bowl eligible. And we know what kind of a gauntlet it is that Notre Dame has to get through their season, right? They had 3 games they needed to win this year. They lost 2 of them. The only game that mattered is that USC game. That's the only one. Let's keep going. Strength of record. I think 6 is lower than 13. You guys correct me, but I think 6 is a higher number than 13 if we're talking backwards. So strength of schedule. Another one, right? Everybody says, well, you guys play a strength stats. Blah, blah, blah. BYU's 35. Notre Dame, 42. There are a couple things in here. They are more average win, 24 versus 12, essentially. SP ranking. This is the ESPN ranking that they go in. And anyways, I'm not going to get into that in great detail. But Notre Dame's 5, BYU's 13. Now we're talking about 136 schools now. All right. 136 schools. BYU is 13. It's not like they're, what was Boise State, like in the 40s last year? SP plus top 40 wins. That means how many are in the top 40 that you've beaten? BYU, I think 4 is greater than 2. You guys correct me again. You're smarter than I am. I believe 40 is better than 2. Sorry, not 40, my bad. So 4 is greater than 2. Beaten opponents win-loss. You know, the teams that you beat, what's their win-loss record overall? BYU 62-52. Beating opponents. Look what Notre Dame is, everybody. I mean, I'm serious. I'm not trying to be a dick here. I'm seriously just going, these numbers are crazy. It backs up everything Dave Portnoy just said. 62-52 versus 54-65. So Notre Dame's all their opponents went 54-65 versus I mean, it's just, what are we doing? What are we doing, Notre Dame? At what point does the Notre Dame thing finally collapse? Hang on one second. Hey, Jason, I'm on my show. Can I call you back? Okay, all right. Or if you want to join the show, I can have you join too if you want to do that. Okay, I'll try to shoot you the link. See ya. That is the Jason Watkins, Hall of Fame college football, super good friend of mine. He's an Oklahoma fan, so he's out of this just a little bit. Anyway, let's finish this up. Best wins: BYU's beaten Utah and Arizona. Arizona went 9-3. Everybody. Utah, everybody knows, Utah being the first one out there for a little bit. Best wins were USC, which fine, and Pitt. Pitt got boat raced by like 4 opponents this year. Miami and Notre Dame made them look silly at the end of the year. And their worst losses, wow, BYU has a loss, but who did they lose to? A Texas Tech team that might win the whole thing, that has the best defense in college football, versus Notre Dame lost to Texas A&M and Miami. So because they played schools that were, I guess, technically higher in the rankings, they get credit for losses. And that's where it just blows me away what the CFP does, right? They just make it up. They go to a whiteboard when they first meet and they're like, all these teams can be in, but who are the ones we really want? And I can just see them doing check, no, check, no, check. Those are the schools we're going to have in. Now we need to build the story around them, right? I don't know if they did that. I'm being sarcastic, but you get what I'm saying. You understand what I'm trying to, what I'm putting down, as it were. So, okay, let's just stop right there. I'm going to get to your comments right now. Let me send Jason Watkins this hang on a second. HOF. Where is it here? HOF Jason Watkins. There he is. Got to shoot him the link. All right, that's done. Let's quickly move backwards through these. I'm going to leave this up so we can refer back to it. Right? But I'm going to work backwards through our comments. Let's see if we got any. By the way, I invite everybody, if you're here and you want your comment to be read, make it a super chat. Those go really to our overhead, basically, to keep the channel going. If not, then put your comment in. I may or may not get to it. I make no promises. Glenn Hanna says, heck, just losses. Yeah, you can start it with line 1, right? Yeah. Conundrum says you missed the most important stat. The Pope 100 points is greater than Dallin H. Oaks 10 points. Well, then, wow, that's pretty good, Conundrum. You know names. Well, I don't believe that to be true, but I get what you're saying. I can, go along with it. Let's see here. Husker Magic says I favor Eli Drinkwitz CFP format with G6s, number 1 and number 6, 2v5, 3v4, big SEC. Yeah, that's pretty sophisticated. I don't think you need to be that sophisticated. I think what you do, which is pretty simple, is you just go 1 to 24. Make sure you get 2 from the G6 ranks. So you have 22 schools you can put into a college football playoff, and that would solve everything. It's pretty simple. 24 teams, first 8 teams, you got to bye. Everybody else has to play a first round game on campus. Second round game on campus. And then you get to the biggies. You make $1 gazillion doing it. And yeah, there will still be people complaining they're 27, they're 28. But 24 teams would reward all of the schools that are really putting forth an effort to win in college football. And I think there's something to that. I've said that with my Supra League idea. If you're new around here, you might not know about it. But basically, what I'm trying to say is you have a lot of stuff that you don't need conferences for. You don't need conferences for a playoff, for instance. And you know how I know that? As I'm looking right here, Notre Dame doesn't have a conference. I mean, come on, what are we doing? Bulldog Mississippi, thank you so much for being here. Bulldog Mississippi is a new member. We appreciate him being a member and sticking around. Obviously, having Mississippi State in the house, not the worst thing in the world. Notre Dame just has that Chicago area TV market. Yeah, I mean, they have a lot of advantages, right? Historically. But does anybody know when they won their last national championship? Anyone? Bueller? Notre Dame won their last national championship in 1988. That is 2 years away from being 40 years ago. 40 years ago. BYU's was 84. And while I hold that up as the epitome of being a fan and being excited and super cool. They got a national championship. At the end of the day, I could say out loud that was 41 years ago, and it doesn't kill my ego and I go into full defensive mode. No, it is. It's historical. But you're given the power to Notre Dame to run like its own conference. It is its own conference, keeps all its own money, doesn't have to share it with anybody like the rest of these conferences have to share it out to 15, 16 schools, plus the conference gets a share. They don't have a championship game, so they naturally play one less game, and they can, since they're independent, and they can make up their schedule. And everybody wants to play Notre Dame. I know everybody says no, let's just shut them out. Everybody wants to play Notre Dame because they want to beat them. So, I mean, the fact that this comes down to two schools that have a very strong religious history, it's kind of ironic, in my opinion. But it's not the worst thing in the world. We just need to be able to look in the mirror and say, you know what? We finally need to fix this thing. And we have people out there trying to do that. I'll get to him in just a second. Glenn Hanna says worst losses or best losses. That's, again, right. Secret agent, Texas Tech in the house. Good to see you, secret agent. Got a big one on Saturday, brother. Get up early. Hope you have fun. It should be a good game. BYU is, yeah, I don't think you're going to get the best form of BYU maybe of the entire season this weekend. People are back from injury. Should be a lot of fun. Kalani, strength of record is an opaque stat and is proprietary to ESPN. Nobody outside of Bristol knows its algorithm, and it could be monkeys throwing darts for all we know. There we go. Kalani's got it right there. It's exactly right. Let's see. Marcus Williams. Good to have you here, Marcus. Also a longstanding, valuable member of the College Football Mafia family. You know how you know that? In the comment section, all their names are in green. It's what they get for being members. The other thing is when it pops up here on my screen, see that little special logo S next to that? That shows that they are members. So if you guys have questions about how we do things, ask a member in the chat. We're pretty transparent around here. Right now, bang, right here, PSU Nitwit, $20 super chat, PSU Nitwit. I'm praying that Penn State gets a good coach. I really am. Welcome to Penn State, Zombie Nation, Matt Campbell. 6 years, $10.5 million offer made. There you go. $10.5 million. That has to be a pretty good raise, PSU Nitwit. What's he making now? 6? 7 maybe? Yeah, that's fantastic. Congratulations. I like Matt Campbell. He's been great at Iowa State. You give Iowa State, you take Iowa State recruiting and coaching and culture, throw that on top of Penn State history and blue blood status and all that fun stuff. You guys could be real good real quick. You just need to get that recruiting class thing turned over. But I hope that works for you guys. I really do. I think that's really awesome. Thank you so much, PSU Nitwit. And I will give you a clap. You know, I don't have the sounders. I'm not fancy like Moen, but I'll give you a clap. Thank you so much for being here. Bulldog Mississippi gifted 1 College Football Mafia membership. That membership went. Illini Ted has been a member in the past. Illini Ted, thank you so much. Make sure you thank Big Bulldog Mississippi for giving you that membership. Give him a comment, slap on the back in the comment section. Thank him so much. And then if you've received a gift of membership, say in the last month or something, and you want good karma for whatever you've got going on this weekend, you give a gift membership to somebody else. I believe in karma, and I think good gets good back. You will be blessed. I can't guarantee it's going to be a raise or anything fun, but maybe your son gives you a hug. Might be something that simple. But you do get paid back. Good breeds good. I really believe that. Thank you so much, Bulldog Mississippi. I'll clap for you too. I appreciate you coming on and doing that. Thanks for being involved. That's another one. But he's new around here, and yet he has been active, and I absolutely love that. I will say this. I'll take this opportunity. We do have a huge library of college football shows that we've done almost the last 3 years. Realignment, the business of college football. Recently, I interviewed Cody Campbell who is the big dog at Texas Tech. And he came on and we spent a half hour talking about how college football runs and how it could be fixed. Earlier, Conundrum made fun of me and said, well, it's a Cody Campbell league or something like that. I believe in Cody Campbell. I think he knows what he's doing. And yeah, I love Cody Campbell. So thank you so much, Bulldog Mississippi. I appreciate you. And hopefully Mississippi State over this next recruiting window, you guys get some good players. I've always liked Mississippi as well. In fact, if you've been a good college football school in the last 50 years, I probably like you. I like a bunch of schools. Husker Magic. Miami, Notre Dame, BYU fans who don't want CFP expansion have no right to complain if their team gets left out of the 12-team CFP. I will tell you right now, Husker Magic, if there is a BYU, Miami, Notre Dame fan that doesn't want an expanded playoff, it's going to be the Notre Dame fans. They don't want more access. They want the thing to be small. They would probably love to have it back down to 8. But I believe Miami 2 years in a row is going to get screwed unless something crazy happens this weekend. 2 years in a row, Miami's going to get left out, just like BYU's getting screwed. And yeah, I think Miami fans are probably wanting a larger playoff too. In my opinion, I love the 24 team. I absolutely love it. I'm falling in love with it, and that's the only thing I think we should be selling. Glenn Hanna, Oregon Ducks in the house. Good to have you here, Glenn. Hi, Big Ten needed 4 teams in last year. The 4th place team in the Big Ten won it all. I know, Ohio State, obviously. We need to bump the playoffs to at least 16. There we go. The bye week thing does more harm than good. Glenn Hanna, if I could stand up and give you a cheer, and I could, but I don't want to lose my camera angle. That you're exactly right. You're 100% accurate. 16 is minimum. 24 is where it should be at. Yep. So thank you so much for being here, Glenn. And I'll get to one more from my great friend, Fergie, in the house. And I don't know why this is not going through to Jason Watkins. Wonder if maybe his thing changed. I don't know what's going on there. So I'm going to try this one more time. There he is right there. Let's see. Jason Watkins. Let's try one more time. Yeah, it's like the join thing is not working for some reason. I'm sorry. Trying to invite Jason this way. He wants me to send it in a text. Maybe if I get another super chat or I get a break. That's tough. That's tough. Hang on. All right, I'll put that there. Let's see. Where are we at? So this is Fergie, University of Colorado Buffaloes in the house. Nathan, dang, that intro has some serious 1990s bass. Good luck this weekend. Just keep winning. Excited for Coach Brennan Marion to bring go-go offense to Boulder. They are. What school did he come from? Does anybody know off the top of your head? Maybe Fergie, you put it in the comment section. I did see it, but I can't remember what it was. I'm sorry. But I did see it was an offensive coordinator, and he's been an offensive coordinator. So, yeah, I think anybody's better than what they've had. I will just say that. Anything's better than what they had. Move this over here, see if it'll go to mine. For some reason, it's not going out. All right, let's get to this one. And I think, all right, one more from Caden. I've been saying the Big 12 was going to be a powerhouse conference, and Notre Dame fans down-talked the Big 12 and called me crazy, but I've proved them wrong. You are exactly right. You have, Caden. And the Big 12 has not been a bad conference. In fact, I will say it's right there with the Big 10 for competitive balance and for teams that can actually go out and win football games. Absolutely that close. It's a joke what's happening to BYU. Sorry, what's happening to the Big 12 compared to the rest of the world. All right, let's get to more stuff here. Let's see. Is it this one? All right, so let's do this. So John Gruden, everybody knows John Gruden, right? Here's another guy. He knows how football runs. He knows how college football should run. And right now he is demoing his probably offer to become the new master of college football, the college football commissioner. Just check this out for a minute here.
See what you think. Ohio State and Indiana are going to play.
Oop. What just happened? So I could stop. I'm sorry. Well, audio video doesn't work. Well, that sucks.
Ohio State and Indiana are going to play, and win, lose, or draw, both teams get a bid. They've had great seasons. Georgia and Alabama are going to play to see who wins this SEC, but both teams are getting in no matter who wins or loses. And Texas Tech and BYU, they're playing to determine the Big 12 championship. Whoever wins is in, whoever loses is in. But
that's it, right? John Gruden, he's got no extra grind with the Big 12. He's just looking at college football and saying, if you're a big-time conference and you compete at the highest level, you play whoever's in front of you on that given day, you should be able to qualify for the CFP without winning the game. Just so everybody knows, if BYU makes it into the CFP, they're not stealing anything. They're not stealing anything. They're just reaffirming their claim to the spot in the playoff. They should already be in. Last year, BYU this year is SMU from last year. Lose the conference championship game, still get into the playoff. They actually said they were going to do that and then didn't do it. I want to post a link to this John Gruden video. You guys will absolutely love this. It's like 7 minutes long, so I'm not going to do the whole 7 minutes. But that one little piece that I posted, that one little piece where he's saying, you're in a big-time conference, you're playing big-time opponents, you're in the championship game, you should be in. Now, what's the exception there? Down at the bottom, and it won't go away for some reason. Virginia and Duke. Virginia's 10-2. And the ACC is getting no run at all. Miami's 10-2, didn't make it into this game. Duke is far from ranked. In fact, they have 5 losses. If for some reason Duke beats Virginia, the ACC will not have a representative in this playoff. They won't have anybody. Not one school from the ACC will be in the playoff. They might try to shoehorn in Miami. Anyway, right now, there is no spot for the ACC. It would go to 2 G6 conferences. That's how wacky all of this is. And then the reasoning behind all their picks is just ludicrous. Absolutely ludicrous. We got some super chats here I want to get to. First of all, Bulls fan, good to have you here. Bulls fan, I can't remember your real call sign. YouTube's got these names screwed up, and my memory's jacked. Anyway, $5 super chat. Bulls fan is USF Bulls, by the way. They were this close to being in this CFP. Just, I don't know what happened. A couple games there, I thought you guys were going to win. You just didn't quite. But I'm a fan of USF Bulls anyway. Southern Florida. 9-3 USF is playing 9-3 Old Dominion in the Cure Bowl in Orlando on December 17th. Maybe UCF fans can show up to see what a winning team looks like. That's funny. USF Bulls fan throwing the wood, boy. UCF finished 5-7. Those two teams are not alike at all. USF is loaded. But have you lost your coach? I can't remember. There's been so many coaching things back and forth. I might be remembering it wrong, but regardless, they should be good next year. USF Bulls in the house. Thank you. And thank you to Bulldog Mississippi for giving a membership and giving you guys claps. Thank you so much. Appreciate you being here tonight. I appreciate all you guys' support. It's incredible. Okay, let's move to the next thing here. Sorry, let me see if I can get this. For some reason, Mr. Watkins cannot. Let me see. See if I can copy link. Maybe this will work. I don't know. Paste. There we go. I don't know why it wouldn't work to his Twitter. Maybe he changed it. Okay, let's get to the next thing. So now we've had John Gruden, no super support for the Big 12. It's not like he's from Big 12 land. And then we had, obviously Dave Portnoy. So 2 national people are saying BYU should be in it regardless. And the reason I'm fighting for this, and I got to say this, the reason I'm fighting for this isn't that BYU doesn't have an opportunity to get in. Of course they do. They're in the championship game on Saturday against Texas Tech. I've got data on that too here in just a second. In fact, I'll do it right after I say this. Absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous that they have to earn anything. They've already earned it. They're 11-1. The first team in all of bowl championship eras, over 30 years. BYU's the first power conference with 11 wins that's ever not been in the top 10. And if you're not in the top 10, you can't get in the playoff unless you win your conference. It's completely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. All right, here we go. Add to stage, Mr. Watkins. Can you hear me, Jason? No, it's not doing it. Let's see. Jason, are you there?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. How are you doing, boy? That's awful dark there.
Yeah, I was going to turn the light off. It's all good. Hey, man, I'm doing good. How are you doing? I was just listening in on the show.
I've got vinegar in my veins and I'm ready to fight. I'm tired of being overlooked. So yeah, that's what this is tonight.
I don't blame you at all. And I think the way that it seems like every way that it could possibly be screwy this year, it's going to be screwy. You've got the ACC is a mess. I don't understand, how you end up with tiebreakers that allows a 7-5 Duke into that deal instead of putting Miami in there. I will tell you that I think that you're getting in if you beat Texas Tech.
Oh, sure we are. I know that. Yeah.
But I think you could also possibly get in. It kind of depends on. There was something I was seeing earlier that it made sense. Let me think about what that was. It was in other words, I think that Miami, if Duke were to win, I think they're going to have to shoehorn Miami back in, and because it's going to push you guys back. If you were to lose, it's still going to push you back. But I only think to like maybe 11. But they're going to have to bring Miami back in, and there's no way. Listen, Coach is going to hate hearing this from me, but there is no way that they cannot put them in if they're right next to each other in the rankings, which is 10 or 11, 12, whatever, right, or 10, 11, 9, 10, whatever. They cannot put Notre Dame in instead of Miami. They cannot do that.
Boy, oh boy. Yeah, well, I think that just to sort of go off of that, and we can start there, I think BYU should already be ahead of both of them.
Oh, at 11-1? Yeah, listen, I think that the strength of schedule metric is what's throwing a lot of this off. It really is, and I'm not saying that your schedule wasn't good.
Did you see the data? Their strength of schedule is higher than Notre Dame's is. Their strength of schedule is 35, Jason. Notre Dame's 42, and I don't think Miami's much bigger.
Yeah, I don't think Miami's is less than what Notre Dame's was. I didn't realize that BYU's was above it. I think. Yeah,
let me see. Miami's
Texas Tech.
Miami's okay. Okay, Jason, this is it. Strength of schedule, and I was gonna show this. You're driving, you can't see it, but they put up these resume comparisons, right? They put up resume comparisons. It's the last 3 of these stupid pick shows, and every one of them they left BYU out. And it was because BYU was higher than all of them. I'll tell you right now, Notre Dame's strength of schedule is 36. And
sounds
BYU's,
about right. Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, Miami's is 47. Sorry, check that strength of schedule. Yeah, 47. 36, 47. And what did I just tell you? BYU's is, what did I just tell you? I just read that to you. It's higher than that. Right now, BYU's strength of schedule is 42. Sorry, 35.
35, so you're ahead of Notre Dame then?
Yeah, ahead of Miami.
Okay.
Ahead of both of them. That's what I'm saying,
Ahead
Jason.
of both of them, no, but I mean, even ahead of Notre Dame is what I meant. But like,
right.
Well, good. So here's the thing. I agree with you on it. And you're at 11-1 as well.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So I guess, I don't know what is your, and this is the thing is that I don't think that Hunter Yurachek and these guys know what the hell they're doing anyway.
No, they don't. They're making it up as they go,
because
Jason. They're making it up as they go.
That's what I was saying. Every week it's like it's something new, and they make no mistake. This is what I was saying, and I was watching Moen and them last night. Make no mistake, they want Notre Dame in. There's just no two ways around it, because it's the Golden Dome, Golden Goose for them.
Yes,
you know that's how they get the East Coast from, especially the northern East Coast, New York, Massachusetts, those areas around there where they don't give it. They're all pro football towns, but they will watch Notre Dame. You know what I mean? So if you can get those households watching, that's what they care about. I listen, as I said, and I'm not a Notre Dame hater per se, but I think that it's wrong that's where they're at. Now, as I said, Coach, if Coach hears me saying this, he's going to freak. But I've had the conversation with him too. The truth is, and he knows it, that they're going to put them above. They're even trying to put them above Miami, although I don't think they can. I think that's the one way that they're going to they can't do it is because the head-to-head, you can't. Look, if it doesn't, if the damn results on the field don't matter, and I don't care that it was week one, none of that. If the results on the field don't matter, then what does?
What are we doing? What are we even trying to do?
Right, and I would say that strength of schedule wise, I mean, if they're at 42 and Notre Dame's at 36, that's a wash.
No, BYU's 35, Notre Dame's 42.
I was saying Miami 42, Notre Dame.
Miami is higher
36.
too. Yeah,
I'm just saying it's a wash. It's not.
It is. I agree with
between Notre Dame and Miami, so it's not like you can sit there and split hairs about they lost to SMU and Louisville. They're not bad losses. They're both good teams. They're not championship teams, but it's not like they were terrible losses for Miami. I'm getting off track here, but you guys have gone through and you're 11-1. Your only loss being to a Texas Tech team that's beaten everybody by 20.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm trying to get you on here with the screen for some reason. It's not. There you are.
Okay. I can hear you.
Yeah. So everything you're saying, Jason, I agree with. I think what is really rankling and starting to bring in like the Dave Portnoy video. Did you watch that, or have you heard that before?
Which one? I don't know, man. I've been kind of out of pocket today, so
that's okay.
I just heard about what you were talking about with Matt Campbell. Is that real? Is that done?
From what I understand, I'm not reading the news, right? But according to PSU Nitwit, it's Matt Campbell, 6 years, 10.5.
Okay.
It's not bad. It's not bad. That's not small money.
No, I mean, but he's turned down other. I just don't know what's going on with Penn State. What the hell are they doing?
Yeah, I don't know.
Just
really quick. So, and this is a fantastic post. It did all these comparison. And what really what's bothered everybody from the jump is the fact that they put these graphics up and have completely left BYU off the screen. They don't even add them so people can see the differences, right?
Like
so people have gone, so people have gone back. Let me show you this one. This resume comparison, you probably can't see that. But when that was originally posted, the BYU one wasn't there.
At 11-1.
At 11-1. Here's another one. They did insert it on this one, but it was only Oklahoma and Alabama. They don't even have Notre Dame and Miami on there. This is the one that flipped everybody out. There is no BYU on this one.
Right.
And these are all the teams
only reason people are wanting to take Oklahoma out of the mix. People want to take Oklahoma out of the mix because their offense isn't good, they say. They've won.
No, I'm okay with Oklahoma, actually. You're not going to hear me say anything about Oklahoma.
It's weird that you get these narratives you're getting going by. You just have these people around different parts of the country that are pushing these narratives and picking their sides, and it's just dumb. I got to be honest. I know that Some people are good with the G5, the G6 being in it. I'm not. I think that there's no way that they're on the level of the rest of the country where, you know, if you are leaving out BYU or you leave out Miami or you leave out Notre Dame for a group of 6 program that has zero chance. I don't understand. I don't understand.
Here's another.
And so
this is the last one I'll show you, and it didn't switch. I apologize. This is the last one. You can tell it wasn't part of it. Oh, you okay, Jason? Sorry, I can wait.
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm good.
So this graphic right here did not have BYU in it. And what they did is they showed Alabama, Notre Dame, Miami, and then at the very top, you probably can't even read it. It says teams 9, 10, and 12. And then they said BYU is number 11 and didn't insert it. It wasn't in there at all. So then somebody got creative, stretched it out, put BYU's resume up against the others, and I'm telling you, Jason, it makes the others look silly when you're talking about this. These teams are so much better than a BYU is. It's ridiculous.
No, it is. It is. It is. And the thing is because, like you said, you know what? The guys from Crane & Company kind of said this best. I heard them on College Football Addiction today.
Okay.
And they were saying, they were talking about BYU. They believe BYU ought to be in as well, which was kind of surprising to me because I didn't know that they would go that route. But it's like the argument that it's weird that last year you had the argument for you can't kick SMU out for being in the ACC championship game when they didn't even have a signature win. They had signature losses. They didn't have a signature
BYU
win.
beat them at home. How about that? BYU beat them at home, had the same record.
Right. I know. Dumb. Complete. And then, but, so they couldn't do that. But then, and so now, and obviously, they're not going to keep out Alabama, or if Alabama was to lose the SEC championship game, they're going to put them in because they're saying they would already. And by the way, if they're saying
that's
that Oklahoma,
that's crap too. Well, go ahead. I'm sorry.
But if they were already going to be in, is what I'm saying, and it's not whether or not they should be. I'm just saying, if you already have them ranked in the playoff today, if they didn't play in the conference championship game, then they should be in. And I agree with that no matter what conference it is, that's the case. But if we're going to do it in one spot, you got to do it everywhere else too, which means that in the Big 12, where you've got 2 teams that, unlike last year, it's not a carnivore situation, or not a carnivore, but you know what I'm saying? Where
eat yourself alive. Yeah.
Eating yourselves. Yeah. There's 2 teams that stood out from the rest of the league, which is a large league, and it's 2 11-1 teams. You both deserve to be in. You both deserve to be in. No matter. I mean, look, and especially in view of the fact that now we're trying to basically split hairs on strength of schedule. You're above those 2 teams. There's no reason why, and you're only going to be the 2. So I get the idea of what they're saying about if you're playing a bad schedule, which I would say there's a lot of 10 schools that are playing bad schedules. You know it. I know it. They're playing bad schedules. So Nebraska, for instance, thankfully Nebraska still sucks, but they're doing that, and they're whining and trying to get out of non-conference games. USC does the same thing. They did that this year. They're now going to be out of the Notre Dame game too, but it's crazy because you've got these bad ones, and I get that. If we're talking about, you can't look at the record. If there's a huge gap between strength of schedule or whatever, or that could be that it'll bump you up over wins and losses. Okay, cool. I understand that. And I think most reasonable people will tell you that it's not just you are what your record says. So if you're not playing the same type of schedule relative, you know what I mean? I think that most reasonable people would say that. I'm not saying that it is always true. I'm saying that in certain circumstances, you should be able to, a reasonable person would say that. That being said, that's not what we're talking about with BYU here.
No.
And to be honest with you, what is Texas Tech's strength of schedule?
They're not on here, but they beat both BYU and Utah, so it's got to be pretty high.
Okay, I don't know that it seems like they don't have as good of a strength of schedule as BYU does. Though.
It's possible. I don't know, Jason. I don't have a stat with
the point
Texas
I'm trying
Tech.
to make is
the
reason that they're going by. Okay, yeah, they're using a different metric. Well, they're beating everybody by 20.
Yeah,
they've got 11 wins of 20 or more, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, if they don't play they don't play as good of a schedule as you guys did, for instance. Because I don't know what it is. It seems like somebody was saying that, but I'm just saying if they don't play as strong of a schedule as what BYU did, then and they're beating up on everybody. Well, good for them, but it's about what they do with you guys, against you.
Yeah.
And in the end, I would just tell you that they're gonna, no matter what, they've already ranked them high enough that they can lose, and they're still gonna be in.
Yes.
And there's no way
if Alabama loses
that much higher, there's no way.
If Alabama loses, they get to keep their spot too.
Right.
BYU is the only one in the championship game that can lose and go down and not go up at all. It's absolutely, I'm telling you, Jason, the bias is real, and finally people are starting to call others on it.
Oh,
it's
there's
been 50
no doubt
years
about
of this.
And that's the problem, is that, and it's not, and I'm not just going to sit here and blame the SEC or the Big Ten. I'm blaming, there's biases that are clear that are a part of this process. And whether and you've got SEC people, you've got an SEC guy running it, and he took over for the guy at Baylor. What's his name? Matt Rhodes.
That was
which I don't know what happened there, but they're both knuckleheads.
Yes.
But yeah, in the end, neither one of them were talking out of both sides of their mouth. And I'd love to hear what Crane was saying, or I think Pate said. I'd love to hear what they're saying. There's a lot of discussion being said about this and that and this and that, but none of it gets leaked out as to what it is. But we hear everything about coaching searches that are under turnkey and not supposed to be leaked at all. So, come on.
Yeah.
Give me a break. What they're got to be doing is actually, I believe that they're using the computers, and where it suits them, that fine. Where it doesn't, fine. Because there's no rhyme or reason to any of it. That, let's talk Ole Miss. If you want to talk about Ole Miss, lost their entire offensive staff to LSU with Lane Kiffin. Yep. They're going to let Charlie Weiss Jr. go back and coach. That's one guy. You cannot tell me that that's going to be the same football team.
They should not be in there.
Not only did they not move up, not only did they not move down in the rankings, they moved up.
They did go up one, yeah.
Yeah. Well, they move up one. But either way, that tells you that I would tell you that I don't – if Florida State can be kept out with an undefeated record because of their quarterback, what has a bigger effect? The entire offensive staff
and their head coach
player?
Yeah. I know, Jason. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Anyway,
it's silly shit.
I appreciate
Go ahead. I'll speak again. I'm sorry.
No, that's all right. I was just going to say, I appreciate you calling in. I don't need to keep you. You can stick around if you want, but I got to get to some super chats and stuff.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. All right.
If you want me to get off, I will.
I can do this, but you can stay there. Not hurting me. I love your opinion. So, Bulls fan again. USF Bulls $5 super chat. Thank you so much. 93 USF is playing. Oh, I already read that actually. I did. December 17th, maybe UCF. Yeah, that's true. That's a whole different show. Champy 26TQ. I hate these YouTube name changes. They reset everything. I don't know who these people are.
Screwed up too, man. I don't know who anybody is anymore.
I know. My brain can only handle very small. Anyway, Champy, $5 super chat. Thank you so much for watching. Arizona Wildcats' most underrated team in America. Gatos Locos forever Holmes. I'll just say this. When BYU beat Arizona, everybody said that was a crappy game. BYU didn't get anything out of it. You look now, and that game looks incredible because Arizona is flying around. And, boy, I would not want to play them live.
They looked really good. They looked really good the last half of the season, really.
Yes. Yeah, well, pretty much after BYU beat them, pretty much. That's where it went. I've been super impressed with it. To finish 9-3 at Arizona is a massive victory, and it gives you a leg up. Maybe next year they, take the next step. It would be cool. I like seeing new teams. Well, I've got you here. I do want to ask you, since you are a third party, you're outside of it, from a holistic standpoint, and this doesn't have to be a long answer, Jason, but from a holistic standpoint, you guys have now left the Big 12. I think the Big 12 has done a pretty good job filling those gaps. What do you think?
I think that the bringing in, obviously, I think to start off with bringing in you guys, you hadn't seen it from UCF yet, but bringing in you guys and then the Pac 4, the 4 from the Pac, the Four Corners schools.
Yes, right. Yep.
That was huge. It was important. And we've seen Arizona State do really good. Now we're seeing Arizona do really well also.
Right.
Utah's seems like they're pretty close to back to where they, we expected them to be kind of coming in.
Right.
How about that Bird Ficklin kid, man? What a stud.
Boy, he is athletic. He is athletic. Kyle Whittingham, yeah, they've been talking about giving him big bucks to stay. Kyle Whittingham is still hanging around like grim death. Ute wanted him gone last year. This year he's like, maybe we can beat BYU this year. It didn't happen 3 years in a row or 3 games in a row now. He's still hanging around the office. He won't leave. I kind of think it's time for him to move along. I think that if they don't, they're going to lose Morgan Scalley as the defensive coordinator, who's supposed to be the head coach in waiting. But
is he head coach in waiting?
Third year in head coach. Third year now in head coach in waiting. So
that doesn't usually last very much longer after that. Yeah.
No, I don't think so. So keep going. Anyways,
I did want to congratulate you guys on Kalani. I didn't think he was going anywhere, but from what I found out later on, I mean, it took a big investment in his team basically showing up at his house, I guess, huh?
When he and I've got his video and stack. Hang on, let me get to that. Let me play that. It's good. You did that
Fantastic
on purpose, right?
Stuff, though. I'm so glad he stayed. So glad.
Yeah, me. Boy, Jason, you and me both, brother. Okay, here we go. So let's get to the Kalani Sitake right now because I love Kalani Sitake. Let me play this. I think if you guys can't hear it, put it in the comment section and I'll try to change it. But right now it should be working. Oh wait, let me do this first. Let's go share this tab instead. All right, and let's put it up here. All right, here we go. Kalani Sitake in his coach's brief right before they started announcing signings yesterday. He got pretty emotional. This is after they went through the Penn State almost hiring him and then sticking around. I'll play it and it'll speak for itself.
So finally, I just want to express my love to all the fans. My wife said that the last day or so was probably one of her favorites, and my family, and she called it a love bomb from all the fans, and
I love it.
Yeah, it's hard to leave when you have something so special, and you have amazing people that support us, and so I'm just grateful that I get to be around the amazing fans, and to make things easier, we'll just quit all the drama, and I'm here.
I love that so much.
Me too.
I don't know how else you can look at what he does and not just be super impressed.
Hey, man, I've told you this a bunch of times. I've been more impressed with him every time I hear him speak. I'm more impressed with it. It just,
Yeah.
I didn't think he was going to go. I didn't take it as serious as I guess I should have. But something told me there's no way he's leaving BYU. That's home.
Yeah.
And so, but I'm grateful that BYU ponied up and not just money. I'm sure they made a big investment. I get it. But they
Yeah.
also, it took for the fan base to show that love to him, for his team to show up and be like, don't go anywhere. We want you here. And like, that means something, And so,
Yeah.
and at a time after what we just saw with Lane Kiffin,
Yes.
it's
The anti-Lane Kiffin. Yeah. That's right.
So,
Penn State was going to pay him more money. He was building a staff. It was a lot farther along than any BYU fans wanted to know. I will just take responsibility for some of that love bomb stuff. All day long, I was sending positive messages with his Twitter handle. All day long, trying to convince him, this is the place to stay. You're building something now. Be the next Lavelle Edwards. Build a statue, name the field. But really, at the end of the day, it was boosters that came in with a massive amount of money to help supplement whatever the school could pay for his salary. And then they turned around and they're going to go from a $6 million NIL this year to between 10 and 15 million next year. And that's a full-on commitment. And the reason is because he wants to win. He wants to win a national championship.
Well, and I think that you guys, the way that it's always kind of worked, and I could be wrong with this, but I've always looked at it as that you end up with these grown men because of the missions, right? So you have a lot of these kids that after high school, they go on their mission, and then when they get back, they're grown. And so I think that maturity is a big thing that's always helped them out. I always felt like that it's not just that they're grown men, they're mature men.
Yes.
And I think it's been helpful. But I also think that there's only so much of the gap that you can make up there. You've got to get players. End of story.
Yeah.
You got to get players. So I think that they signaled that they were headed in that direction with what was the quarterback that I really like, that quarterback that you guys got in the
Bear Bachmeier?
No, from last year. The one that's coming in this class.
Retzlaff. You're talking about Ryder Lyons.
Ryder Lyons, yeah.
Yeah, it should be.
No, and I like Bear too. Don't get me wrong. Bear's a badass too. Don't get me wrong. But I mean, with Ryder Lyons and when you go and you get, number one, number two guy in the country, 5-star guy, and everybody else they were expecting him to go anywhere but there.
Oregon and USC pushed really hard there at the end, especially.
No doubt. And we're talking about places that have been known to put guys in the NFL, which is ultimately the goal.
Right.
So to me, I think that I'm glad that they did make the investment to allow him to prove what kind of coach is he. Because, and this is something that coaches said this too. I've said this as well. I think he's one of the best coaches in America, without a doubt. I don't think
he is.
I just don't believe that there's any way that you can go. I mean, he's doing it with less up until this point, but he's still doing it.
Yeah. Yeah, the last 4 of the last 6 years, they've won at least 10 games.
And
that's tough to do.
Nobody did that. Maybe
no,
did Bronco ever go that well?
I don't think he ever got to 11. I think the highest Bronco ever got was 9-3 or 10-2. I could be wrong.
It could be 4 out of 6 years though. He didn't.
No, nothing like that. No.
Yeah. So like Lavelle might have. I'm sure Lavelle did, but
there was many. Many.
Yeah.
But he's
the best. Yeah, no doubt.
The epitome, right? And what Kalani does is he's a leader. Yeah. Coach maybe isn't even the right term for him. He loves his coordinators to do their work. He hires the best people he trusts. He turns the entire thing over to him and says, you go do you go do you, and then I will keep this thing together. And everybody's bought in, Jason. So that's why this thing this year is so tough, because 11 wins is not something you should just throw aside and say, nope, You just because you lost in the championship game to the number 4 team in the country, we're not going to let you in the playoff. It's the stupidest thing. The stupidest I ever heard was Florida State. Florida State 13-0. In my opinion, they should have been in that. But other than that, this is the stupidest thing that's ever happened in my lifetime, and certainly at BYU. We had a 14-1 season, got frozen out. Had a 12-win season, didn't sniff getting into a playoff or even a bowl championship series thing. They don't.
Right.
There's something going on that they want to keep BYU down, and I don't know. I don't know what it is.
Yeah. Well, it's just. I mean, it's not hard to know what it was. It's the same thing that kept them out of the Pac-12 for all those years. Same thing.
Yeah, I know.
Nobody
wants to say it out loud, though, right? Nobody wants to say it out loud.
But it's a fact. I mean, it is what it is.
You and I both know that. It's you bring it up, and you're inciting violence, essentially.
Whatever, man.
It's broken.
Telling the
It's
truth.
broken.
Telling the truth is inciting violence.
Yeah, that's kind of what he was saying.
The LDS church doesn't go violent. What do we mean?
No. Well, we don't have time for that tonight. I forgot to put the link to BYU football. That's where that video came from. And then I got another video here. So I'm full of data tonight, Jason.
Go for it. I love data.
Aaron Torres. Where is he at? I just had it and lost it.
I usually like Aaron. No. Is he saying good things or bad?
No, he's saying good. He's saying good things. He's saying what the hell's going on kind of things. Where did that go? I just had it right here. Did I just close it accidentally? Damn it. But, Aaron Torres.
So let me ask you.
Oh, here it is. Here it is. Sorry. Cool. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
What are you going to say? I'll let you say it. Okay. All right.
I was just going to ask you. Let me hear this, and then I'll ask you. I'll remember it.
Okay. All right. Here we go. So this is Aaron Torres. It's in the middle of a video. I'll post a link. You guys can go watch him. Super smart guy. He's an up and comer. If you don't subscribe to his channel, I encourage you to do it. He's fantastic. He's fun to observe and watch his videos. He does little short things. Anyways, I just wanted to give a little speak out for him. I like him. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to let this go for a second here.
In that rant, I think you got the gist of it, though. And the line that I loved and the line that I agreed with is Dave said, by every single metric known to mankind, BYU should be ranked ahead of Notre Dame. It's the truth. Again, strength of record is the one that's supposed to matter. Doesn't matter for BYU. Overall wins, top 20 wins, fewer losses, good loss. None of it seems to matter, and it's driving me crazy. Now, the one thing I will say, and this is what's kind of bothering me, why is Dave Portnoy? Why is Aaron Torres with obviously, I'm not comparing myself to Dave Portnoy. He's got, he owns the biggest media company, whatever. I'm not comparing myself. Why are the two of us the only ones that are fighting this fight? Where is the Big 12 office? And I go back to, I remember we did a segment.
Well, I'm going to pause that right there. Jason, where has the Big 12 been? I have been so frustrated,
What's wrong with Brett Yormark's ass the last year?
I don't know. I used to be such a big fan. I don't know.
He went from championing that league, that conference to, I don't know what he's doing anymore.
I don't know. I've been calling for him. Yeah.
He started the whole let's go away from the 4-4-2-2. That would have fixed this problem.
It would have,
this problem.
Yeah.
And it's look,
win it on the field, Jason. We want to win it on the field.
Well, damn it. And now here you are and you're getting screwed. And so that's what I'm saying. Look, there's never going to be a time that it's going to be, I don't foresee them ever making it 4-4-4-4 or anything like that. But
you are 24, you could get to 4-4-4-4 pretty easy.
It'd be pretty cool if you did it. But I'm saying with where they were, I never saw them doing that, even at 16, right? But as long as you're trying to do things this way, and for them to, and not only that, but I'm probably getting cussed out in your chat right now, because every time I've said this, it's been like, screw that. If you give them that, then that's all they'll ever get. Well, you're never going to get that. That's the problem. You're never going to get that otherwise. And that's where I hate it, is that to me, it feels like you had an opportunity to have the two in, the ACC, which, you know, even though they screwed up their whole, I don't know what's going on there. There's no way that you can't find two better teams, and Virginia belongs in there, but there's no way Duke should be in there. There should be some kind of deal that when you got that many losses, we can't have it, because they're looking at not having anyone in there unless they nudge Miami in on top
which
of it.
Which they could do, maybe.
They better do that too, maybe. Because this, I mean, look, the playoff system was built on these power conferences. So to not have a representative from one of the 4 power conferences and have multiple representatives from the group of 6 is asinine. Again, I think it's asinine anyway. There's no way that I don't even think you should have one. I hate it that and you know, people don't like that, but hey man, don't give me fair, because fair is where they judge pigs. I don't want to hear that crap. Give me teams that might, I mean, I can say that it's a stretch that Virginia's going to win. A lot of people are going to tell you it's a stretch that Texas Tech can win it. I don't know. I might be one of those people. But that being said, I can damn sure see BYU, Tech, Virginia, somebody like that making a run at in the playoff a hell of a lot easier than I can see Tulane. And I like Tulane. I think they're good. They're not that good. I like North Texas. They're not that good. Yeah. Right? It's not happening. Sorry. There's big differences. Is all I'm saying.
Yeah.
I think that but to do that, they should have done the 4-4-2-2, and I think that we're talking about Notre Dame. Notre Dame is still always going to get preferential treatment because of the Golden Dome and the Golden Boot.
Yes. Yeah.
But make no mistake, they would be less powerful if you'd have gone that route. And where is Yormark? Where is he? What is he doing? It was way late that he said anything until anybody said anything. Everybody was screaming about, where are you at? What are you going to do? It feels like a day late and a dollar short, Bomber.
Oh, it's more like months late. He should have started if he was gonna if he wanted to champion this 5'11" or 5'7" right now, and that was the thing earning on the field for the next year. He should have been doing press conferences on this stuff, short videos, and building up the Big 12 that entire time to lay the groundwork. Because what happened? The SEC only got 3 teams in last year.
Man. Yeah, get the propaganda machine rolling.
Ole Miss, Lane Kiffin would not shut up the entire offseason. If people don't think that has affected people's voting for this year, they are crazy. I think if the Big 12 had done something similar, they still would have probably had some shucks, I don't know. But it would have been better than not talking at all and then showing up, 5 minutes before midnight. I'm so frustrated with what they've done.
Yeah, I mean, that's where I feel like if you've seen the propaganda machine roll out from everywhere else, including the Big 12 in the past on stuff, it feels like it doesn't matter to him. And what does that mean? Is he being paid off by somebody?
Well, yeah, I don't know. I've asked that question openly now. I don't know what's going on. It seems to me now he's being a mouthpiece for Greg Sankey. So there has to be something there with ESPN, maybe a back deal for basketball coverage. There's these guys do trades all the time.
See, he's a hoop guy, so I can see that. But listen, let's not get it twisted. Football matters. It makes more money because all up until this point, basketball's been, and it still is, it's a throw-in. The television deals the basketball's included in the football deal.
Yeah. I'm going to let you go, Jason.
Okay.
Thank you for calling, though. I appreciate it. I love talking to you. Everything going okay?
I appreciate you having me on. I was just checking in with you.
I appreciate it. Are you doing okay? Everything all right?
Doing good, man. Doing good.
Okay, give me a call.
Will do. Thanks for having me on,
we'll see you. Always, Jason. We'll talk to you later. Hall of Fame college football. That would be Jason Watkins right there. Everybody say bye. He's leaving. There we go. Thanks, Jason, for coming on. I really appreciate you doing that. So let's get caught up on some comments. You guys have been doing a great job in your comments. I've tried to track as many of them as I can. So let me get to them right now. First of all, we have a new super chat again from Bulls fan 2007, $5 super chat. Thank you so much. I think Memphis, Tulane, USF, and North Texas could beat every low mid-tier P4 team. So saying the G6 doesn't belong in the playoff is absurd. I didn't say that. Maybe Jason said that. I think G6 should be in the playoff. What I said, if it was 24 teams, they could get 2 given to them. But the highest 2, you don't have to play to get in. And then if you do have 4 teams right now that are that good, you guys all end up 10-2 and 11-1. There's at-larges you can get as well. So I maybe Jason said that. I've never said G6 doesn't need to be there, though. I think G6 does need to be involved. I'm not one of these that says, let's replace the G6 and put in another power conference team. I'm not for that at all. Never have been. So thank you so much, USF. Appreciate you. Another $5 super chat. Super stud. Thanks for on and help me out tonight. I appreciate it. Boy, we're almost an hour and a half. I can't believe this has gone that long. Jason came on and filled some of that time. That sort of stream of consciousness that I just had with Jason Watkins, who's an Oklahoma fan, somebody that is an outside looking in person, and the respect that he has for a program that's been historically relevant for over 50 years. I don't throw that stuff away. I take that real serious. So Jason, thanks so much for coming on. I really appreciate it. Jose in the house says UEFA Champions League and World Cup don't have 13 suits voting in a room on a random Tuesday to decide who makes the playoffs. They don't, Jose. They do have their own little corruptions, though. Let's not build up UEFA Champions League like they haven't. You know, they're not always the most straightforward. They change rules all the time. Who's the champion? Everybody playing isn't a champion. So what is it really? International soccer, world soccer, they all have a little bit of that gymnastics subjective in them. They're not dumb either. They know people are going to watch Liverpool, maybe not so what Hawthorne or somebody like that. I just made that up. I don't know if there's a Hawthorne team, but anyway, get rid of the committee. I'm all for that. I get rid of subjective, do the computers, adjust the computers up so they're up to date with all the new data points we have. You know who does a lot of that is Jeff Fuller. And I don't have one of his tweets marked. I should have, where he's gone in and said something like more than 40 or 50 computers got together and they have BYU at 7 or 8. So I hate the committee. I hate everything about it. Never liked it. So, Rich Austin, always coming in, being the nice, reasonable guy. Certainly about BYU and the Big 12. But, Rich, good to see you. P2 can't break away soon enough to get away from all this nonsense. I don't think that's going to happen, Rich. You and I have talked about this. I don't think that's going to happen. I just don't. They could. There's nothing is technically stopping them. I don't think that's going to happen. I think you have guys like Cody Campbell that are trying to build something different, bigger, and it's not P2. It'll be more my Supra League idea than anything else. Anyway, so good to see you. Appreciate you being here, Rich. Thank you so much. Let's get to some more comments. You guys have been just hammering me with comments. I really, really appreciate it. Devil Frog, the Mean Green and Midshipmen deserve an actual chance to win a national title. That would be Marshall and Navy. I'm pretty proud I remembered those. An actual chance to win a national title. And the P4 have a simple majority to facilitate a breakaway, but not if they wait much longer. I think Frog is onto something there. There is a time thing, and that time is 2030, 31, 32. So in the next 4 to 6 years, something different is going to come. Everybody has a different idea what that needs to look like, but it's not this. It's not this. This is not the epitome thing that everybody looks forward to. This is probably the worst, actually. Except for expanding it to 12, which was great. You're still keeping people out. 16 teams. Let me see. I think I flagged another comment on the 16 teams. I'll get to that in just a second. Kalani, again, lots of Your Mark fanboys from a couple of years ago. I was not one of those. Have now changed their tune. I was skeptical when he unveiled the Big 12 Mexico and Big 12 Rutgers Park initiatives as his big ideas. Those are basketball ideas. they've talked about football, but yeah, he's trying to generate revenue. I love his ideas, actually, Kalani. I do. I like his ideas. He's working very hard at them. But then he comes along and he's just a parrot for football, and I don't like that at all. So I don't know. This offseason is going to be pretty interesting. Pretty interesting. Let's get to some more. Glenn Hanna, a G6 tournament would be more interesting than the bowl system we have, where teams pout and treat like exhibition games. Bowl season, whatever. Those are fun. They make money. People like to watch them. I would prefer the bowls. Don't mean anything to me now. It's all about the playoff. Everybody, that should be their goal. Win their conference, get to the playoff. That's it. That's on everybody's weight room wall. That's the goal. So, but I get what you're saying. I do. This is the one from Sean, BYU FTB. Good to have you here, Sean. Sean's a BYU fan. Says, if it was a 16-team playoffs, why would we want 4-4-2-2? Right now it's 5-11. Big 12 would have 3 teams in. So, to be very clear, 4-4-2-2 only secured the reserved slots. There would still be a number of at-large. So let's take BYU and Texas Tech. They would be the 2 if it was to happen today. The third would be Utah, but that could go into 5-11 as well. Go to 16 teams. The Big 12 could quite often, I think, go 2, maybe 3. Problem is, what have they done with Utah the last 2 weeks? They've demoted them 2 weeks in a row, and they won those games. Why did they demote them? Everybody said, "Oh, they're just hitting Utah." No, they're not. By demoting Utah, they lower the strength of schedule for both BYU and Texas Tech, and it hurts their chances to make the playoff. This is like 5D chess, everybody. Nothing happens by accident. BYU not being mentioned last year in the top 16. When we talked about an extra 4, was exactly the same thing. You don't mention them, they don't exist. They're not a problem if you don't give them visual. And Brett Yormark got that. Either he got it wrong and it was wrong and he needs to change his ideas, or he's doing it for a different reason we're not aware of, and probably not going to see a lot of change. 16 teams would be great. I love 16 teams. I wish it was 16 teams right now. I do. Let's see. Bulldog, Mississippi. And if Duke wins the ACC, we get Tulane and James Madison in over BYU. Well, they're not technically in over BYU. They are the next 2 conference best teams. So hopefully Virginia wins. And while it's not great, at least you can say, okay, they're 10-2, right? Or at that point, they'd be 11-2. Their strength of schedule is way, way down there, but at least, they're representing the ACC. If Duke wins, it's beyond nightmare scenario. The ACC will lose its mind if that happens. Absolutely no. Just lose their mind. Devil Frog, a 2014 playoff of P4 schools would include all teams that went 9-3 or better this year, plus 1 team that went 8-4. I mean, what are we talking about here? Why not 24 teams? Nobody can give me a good reason not to do it. Just to say, oh, I'm not sure we'd have good games in those first round games. You got teams playing each other. Yeah, they're not playing the 50th best team, are they? They're playing the 23rd best team, the 24th best team, the teams you've been talking about for the entire season. And they just have another bite at the apple. Stupid. Expanding the playoff is what we need to be doing. It doesn't matter really what the new number is, except for I want it to be more than, I just want it to be 16 minimum. Kalani, SOS is different logarithm to calculate it. You have to use the one that correctly weighs the opponent's record and the opponent's record. Yeah, that was invented by ESPN last year. Nobody knew how to use it. Yeah, anyway. Kalani also says, I feel bad for Coach Sitake having to deal with AD Santiago. That is the athletic director at BYU. Until BYU steps up and does something, he's not getting the support he needs. If Santiago was ready to let him leave without a fight, in my opinion, Santiago was not the pick at BYU for athletic director. When Tom Homo left, I did not want did not want Santiago to get the job. He got the job, and he was going to let I cannot talk. Kalani. He was going to let him go. He already had somebody in mind that he wanted to coach. I mean, it was bad, everybody. At BYU, for Kalani to stay, a lot of things had to happen good from the boosters and from the fans. That's all I'm saying. Fergie, representing the Colorado Buffaloes, also a valuable member of the College Football Mafia family. Somebody we appreciate coming on and helps us with data and does some more stuff. It's coming to the playoff. If you're not running around traveling, we need to get together, Fergie. We cannot diss on the Ole Miss players and team, just like Florida State got screwed. Focus on all those players that put together a great season. F. Kiffin. I'm a players guy. I support the players. I'm only going off of what they already did. I'm already going off of what they already did. And I'm not sure that that's coming back. I'm sorry. I just don't think that. Whatever. Ole Miss gets in. They bitched and moaned all offseason. If you already think that's an accident, that they're still there, Lane Kiffin even leaving them? No. Let's see. Greg's Disney Adventures. Expedition Greg in the house, representing the Ohio State Buckeyes. Go Buckeyes is what Greg says. Good to have you here, man. Great to see you. I'm trying to get to more comments from people I haven't grabbed. Jason, I bet you think multiple G6 schools can compete. Bulls fan, so he's having a conversation. Yeah, I don't know. More comments. Yeah, everybody's doing the same thing. I got you all riled up. Got you guys all riled up. I wanted to definitely, I wanted to let everybody know this is my part, right? I started this channel so I could try to influence the narrative. And I've tried to do that on my X account. I've tried to do that with the channel. We're not dummies around here, and I wanted that to be part of what we did. And right now, for me, I'm out for BYU. Probably won't make a difference, right? Nobody in the committee room's watching me. But from a right is right perspective, BYU's getting screwed at the end of the day. Give me 1 second. Let me go through my tabs here. I thought I should put this back up here so everybody can see it. Not that one. This one. So everybody knows there's your official metrics between BYU and Notre Dame. I do not have one with Miami, unfortunately. Let's see here. I'm looking at these others. I've already shown you comparisons. Here's another one for BYU. Let me show this one. I haven't done this one. Resume comparison. This is a pretty goal. This is sort of stacked. They're all together. Let me get the link. Oh no, this was just a picture. All right. So best overall records over again, BYU, Notre Dame. Best record, highest strength of record, highest strength of schedule, most wins versus current top 25 teams, best winning versus winning percentage. Where are we at? Best record versus teams with a winning record. There we go. Big 12 was very competitive this year. Lots of 9-3 and 8-4 teams did very well. Playing in conference championship, Notre Dame doesn't have to play. So I guess that's kind of where we'll finish tonight. Is is there any way to earn a college football playoff berth? Truly earn it. They'll earn it on the field. Brett Yormark. Is there any way that you can earn your way in if you're on the outs? Just letting you sit. I mean, we got somebody new in the chat. Cougs and Utes. Good to have you here, Cougs and Utes. You're new to the channel. Anybody that's new that's watching right now, especially if you're watching on X, do me a favor. Open up another window on your phone, on your computer. Open up another browser. Go to College Football Mafia and hit the subscribe button. It's right in the middle of this stupid thing underneath the video. Subscribe. Turn on your notifications. Follow me on Twitter. Follow us, the channel, on Twitter. We do notifications. We do specials all the time. And last but not least, if you see somebody with green lettering in the comment section, or they have a little S next to their name, they are members, and they can vouch for us. We do pretty good work around here, and I like to sort of gloat a little bit because we are really good at what we do. And the member videos is what is most important, in my opinion. The member videos are the gold that we really spin on a constant basis, and that is all realignment, business of college football, anything you could possibly imagine when it comes to breaking down values of teams, how everything works between the conferences, everything college football. We do that around here. We do that around here, and we do a good job at it. So if you're a member, do me a favor and tell everybody in the chat how much you love our stuff. But more importantly, really, I'm so grateful for everything you guys have helped us build here. And we want to build the subscriber base. Going into the off season is when we really make hay. Our off seasons are the best. And you know how I know that? Because this guy right here refuses to go away. Earl Carr, one of our oldest members, he's like number 3 or number 4 on our subscriber list. Not subscriber, sorry, new members list. Back 3 years ago almost. Thank you so much, Earl, for being here. And he has given five new memberships to 5 of you people that didn't have memberships. You now have something for free. I would tell you to use that time after my show. Go to the video section and watch our short videos. Watch the videos that are the member-only videos. They say member only, and you have access. And then come back and tell us if we're doing a good job or not. I know for a fact we're doing a good job. And Earl just gave 5 more memberships. Before I read them, I want to encourage everybody who got a new membership. Look in the comment section, see you're a new member, and then in the comment section, give a shout out to the Earl Carr, BYU #1 fan, and really one of the best we have around here. I respect him so much. Those people are Numbskull News. Back in the saddle, Num. What's up, man? It's getting into the off season. Let's get together. You got to start doing work. It's good to see you. Christopher Mercado, Droll Panther. Let's see. Two Mastas back in the house. Two Masta, where have you been? My gosh, I haven't seen you in forever. And then Chris G coming in. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for being here. Thanks for being new members. Again, please thank Earl Carr for giving you a membership in the comments. And then if you did receive a free membership, I encourage everybody, consider giving one out yourself. They're not very expensive. Give somebody else a chance to see our member videos and helps us grow this thing a little bit. I believe in karma. Karma is real in the world. And if you do good things, you get good things back. And that's one thing you can do. Okay. Earl, thank you so much. It's great to see you tonight. I've missed a bunch of people. I was thinking they'd be here earlier. I guess we are on a little bit late. So maybe that's the thing. Let's see here. I'm going to get to more comments because you guys have come. Let's just go hard here. Sean says it's realignment that's ruining college football. Earl Carr says 29 months. Sorry, buddy. I said almost 3. Earl. Almost 3 years. Yeah, Earl's been around from the beginning. Cougs and Utes, look at not only the games, but the health of the players, and it's away or not. Okay? Hall of Fame college football. How many games did Boise win in New Year's 6 or playoff game? I don't know, but what, 3 or 4? They've won a few, Jason, for sure. Let's see here. Cougs and Utes. I'm going to go sub right now. This seems like a solid channel. Thank you so much, Cougs and Utes. I appreciate you, man. Look me up on Twitter. You can see my Twitter handle. Send me a DM. Get involved. If you have things you'd like to say to people and want to put something together, man, I bring new people on the show all the time. If you think you have something to contribute, if you just want to be here and just be part of the party, I really appreciate that very, very much. So thank you for considering doing that. Let's see here. Hall of Fame college football. Look at Jason Watkins. Almost 2 years, brother. Jason Watkins has his own channel, Hall of Fame College Football. Look him up on Twitter and on YouTube. He has his own channel. Go to Hall of Fame College Football. Hit that subscribe button. He does some good content. SEC covers the middle of the country big time and really understands, being an Oklahoma fan, what it takes to be a blue blood. And I really respect his opinion. So I appreciate that, Jason. Thanks so much for being here, man. That's awesome. Almost 2 years. That takes me back a little bit. I get a little emotional. You guys being with us that long. I can't tell you how much that means to me. Let's see. I don't know. There's a few of these. Here's just Boise State, Fiesta Bowl, and Fiesta Bowl. So we won 4 Fiesta Bowls. All right. I'm a fan of Boise State, so you're gonna have me cheering for Boise State no matter what. Let's see here. One other thing on this, Cougs and Utes. Give us feedback on the member videos. Those are ones only you as a member have access to. And let us know if there's other content that you'd like us to cover. Yep. Get involved. Let us know how we're doing. I love the feedback, positive and negative. Even when Rich Austin comes in the chat, my Utah Utes foil. I love Rich. Don't agree with him hardly at all, but I appreciate him contributing. It's his time still, and I appreciate it. Cougs and Utes, I believe that this CFP is biased towards the SEC. ESPN is literally with the SEC, but if BYU doesn't make it, then the other teams played better. BYU should not be earning their way in. They should not be stealing a spot. BYU should already have a spot being in the Big 12 championship game. They are 11-1, and let's wrap this all up. So I'm going to wrap up again with somebody who I've come to absolutely love. I sent him a DM. I don't think he's responded yet. But really quick, let's listen to Cougar Dave here for a second. All right, everybody? Let me bring him up. Here we go. This is Dave Portnoy, obviously the boss of Barstool Sports. Here we go.
Okay, I got to do this final rant. Everybody's been talking about.
Uh-oh. Don't do that. What's it doing? Hang on 1 second. Technical issues. Let's see if it gives it back to me. There we go. Let's
do this final rant. Everybody's been talking about.
What the hell are you doing? What is this doing? I'll post the link. You guys can watch it yourself if I can't get this to run. I don't know. Maybe it's me moving my mouse. Let's try one more time.
Okay, I got to do this final rant. Everybody's been talking about BYU since the rankings came out, the committee. They are absolutely, undeniably getting screwed. One of the bigger screw jobs in the history of this stupid committee. And here's my problem. I'm sick of the debate. I'm sick of people trying to make cases for Notre Dame versus BYU or Miami. There is no debate. By every single metric known to mankind, BYU should be ranked ahead of Notre Dame. It shouldn't matter if BYU wins or loses. The Big 12 is irrelevant. They're getting held to a different standard than every team in the history of this thing. No team in 30 years in the BYU and the Big 12 has had one loss and been outside the top 10. It's ridiculous. They played a better schedule than Notre Dame. They have 2 better wins than Notre Dame. They have half as many losses as Notre Dame. Notre Dame doesn't have one good win on their entire schedule. It's a joke, so don't debate it. My biggest issue about this is the committee pissing on my face, pissing on my head as Provo Dave and telling me it's raining. Don't try to justify it. Just be like, you know what, BYU, we don't care about you. We don't care about the Big 12. Bye-bye. This isn't a resume. This isn't who has the better season. This is just what makes the most money, who has the most local recognition. It has nothing to do with what you're doing on the field. Alabama played good in the first quarter. Alabama lost by 30 to Florida State. Shut up with all these things. There is no debate. Anybody who's even trying to come up with rationalization for this is a joke. If you're a Notre Dame fan, just say, hey, it's good to be Notre Dame. It's good not to have one good win on the entire season. It's good that we don't have to do anything. But since we have those Golden Domer helmets and we don't have to play in a conference, we get an advantage versus everybody else. It's figure skating. It's gymnastics. It's it's judgment, it's subjective, but not even subjective, because anybody with a brain, anybody who looks at a blind resume knows it has to be BYU. So BYU's getting fucked. Stop debating it. It's fine. I think we go in and beat Texas Tech, who, by the way, I don't understand. And I want Texas Tech in. They deserve to be in. But somehow a 2-loss Texas Tech team gets in, but not a 2-loss BYU. It's so stupid.
I'm going to leave it there. I apologize for broadcasting his language. I know a lot of people don't like that, and it's not fun to hear. But I think I've proved the effect. I think everybody understands now that it's not just a BYU story; it's a college football story. And 11-1 should get you in. That's all I'm saying. I guess maybe that's where I'll leave it. You guys have been incredible tonight, Clint Moses. I don't know. Well, for one thing, it's great to see Clint. He is a super fan of the Oregon State Beavers in the house. Appreciate seeing you, Clint. Thank you so much. You might love or hate Portnoy, right? A lot of people don't like him. I don't. It's not about Dave. People are getting lost in the story that Dave is the one saying this. It doesn't matter. What he's saying is true. So Dave doesn't like us anymore? Great, whatever. He's still saying something that's absolutely true. So, what are we doing here? This is and I'll leave it. I think I'll leave it at this. Let's go. Let's go metrics. For all you people that just love stats, blah, 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 blah. I wish Miami was on this. They didn't do Miami, but they're higher than Miami too. Notre Dame 10-2, BYU 11-1. Wins versus college football ranked teams, 2 versus 1. This is all BYU, by the way. Wins versus bowl eligible teams, 6. Notre Dame has 4. Strength of record, number 6. Strength of schedule, number 35. These are all BYU. Every one of them. There's a couple there if they're behind. Average win margin, they about double their win margin. I don't know what that has to do with anything. You win a game, you win a game. And the SP ranking, which, again, nobody knows what goes into that. But, wow, Notre Dame's 5. And look how far down BYU is, all the way down to 13. There's 136 teams competing in college football Division I, and they're 13. And that's the one thing you're going to lean into. And then the last 4 are all BYU. SP plus top 40 wins, BYU 4, Notre Dame 2. Best wins, Utah and Arizona. Best wins, USC, that's a good win. Dave Portnoy got that wrong, but Pitt is not a good win. Boat Racing Pitt should not be on this list. And the worst losses, we lost to the number 4 team in the entire country at home. And the score advanced 22 points, I think, right? Everybody likes, wow, they got blown out. 22 points is not that much. In fact, at the end of the game, 22 points is like, you could do that in 2 series in the fourth quarter. Admittedly, BYU did not play very well in that game, but that game was at Texas Tech. I'll just say that. It was at Texas Tech. It's a home game. So, and then worst losses, who did Notre Dame lose to? Miami, who they just promoted Miami. Can we figure out why they brought Miami up over Utah? Bueller? Anybody got the answer there? They brought them up so that they could do this. They brought them up because they needed to build up the resume Notre Dame has. If Miami hadn't passed Utah, if they were still, Utah was still 13, this wouldn't look near as good. A loss. We're talking about losses, people, not even wins. And they have 2 losses. So the whole thing's stupid. Absolutely stupid. It's ridiculous. The data proves out, it's not opinion. All these analysts in the world, they all say strength of schedule, strength of record, all this other crap. None of it is Notre Dame's friend. None of it is Notre Dame's friend. They got nothing else to talk about. So they're like, okay, we'll just keep repeating the same thing. Maybe people will forget what we said yesterday, which was the same thing that we said the day before. I had 200 people watching me right now. If you do nothing, you don't subscribe to my channel, you don't follow me on Twitter, all that's great. Do you. But you got to go away with this. This is what they've been hiding. In all these, I'll get to that in just a second. And all these little things they put together, they didn't even show BYU on the display. This one was manipulated by somebody who got creative and added BYU. This stat only had those 3 teams in it before. Why did they not have BYU on there? It's because BYU's stats are ahead of theirs. That's why. All right, let's get to a couple of the news items. The largest ever Big 12 championship game by attendance is going to be this weekend. It's already sold out. Last year they did 54,000 people, I think, or 45. They're going to sell close to 86, 87,000 standing room only seats to this Big 12 championship game between BYU and Texas Tech. The most ever. In fact, of all the championship games, it could conceivably be the best they've ever had for attendance. And they want to turn around and say BYU doesn't bring numbers. And now Texas Tech proves they bring numbers. So all the crap they're talking about, the Big 12 doesn't have what they need to compete is BS. It's garbage. They make it all up. Completely sold out. And then to follow that up, there was another. This is the post from the Big 12. 2025 Edward Jones Big 12 Football Championship is sold out. Limited standing room tickets are available on SeatGeek. And then Royal Coug, who I love his posts on Twitter. Last year's Big 12 championship game, here we go. Arizona State and Iowa State had 56,000 people watching. This year's BYU Texas Tech game is going to have over 85. 40,000 more fans watching. And these guys don't draw numbers. They don't deserve respect. The Big 12 sucks. I don't care what Rich Austin says. That's all garbage. None of it's true. No matter how often Rich repeats it, he and I just disagree. At the end of the day, that's where I'm kind of at. I'm happy to share any of this data with you. Let me real quick get this Royal Coug tweet because I give credit. I already told you the other one came from the Big 12, so I'm not going to do that one. But here's the Royal Coug summary. And yeah, that's where we're at, everybody. That's where we're at. So that's what I did tonight. I hope you got some out of that. I didn't get a lot of time because Jason came on. Didn't get a lot of time to talk about Miami and Utah. Miami and Utah are also getting screwed. How it should be, the rankings right now today, BYU should be ahead of Alabama. They should be ahead of Notre Dame, and they should be ahead of Miami. It shouldn't be you have to jump ahead. You need to not lose, win, whatever. They should already be ahead of Alabama. One less loss. It's got to mean something on the field. Go out and win. It's hard to win games. Ask Utah. It's hard to win games. How rich? Doesn't matter if it's 1 point or 50 points. Losing sucks. Being 10-2 is not an 11-1. So, yeah. Anyway, you guys are awesome. This has been so fun. The new memberships, thank you so much. I haven't seen Cougs and Utes subscribe yet, so I'm still looking for that, Cougs and Utes. But I appreciate you even having the thought you would become a new member. I really appreciate that. I would encourage everybody again to go to the College Football Mafia page on YouTube. And then right here, I don't talk about my Twitter very often. My Twitter handle used to be just B12 Mafia, but really I'm Bomber. That's what I've been since I was in high school. I love that nickname. One day I'll tell everybody where it comes from. I've told everybody before. It's not a secret. But it means something to me. Bomber means something to me. So that's where we're at now. And I'm just gonna say one last time, Miami, it should be BYU, Alabama, Miami, Notre Dame. That should be the last 4 in that order. BYU should be 9, 8 even, or 7, depending on computers. So you guys are awesome. Quickly, I'll get to some comments because you have been going at it here. Devil Frog, this Utah should be ahead of Miami and Notre Dame. Ole Miss should be out. There's an argument for Utah, right? Utah 2 losses. The 2 losses were the 2 best teams in the Big 12. I could see that. The problem you're going to have with the Miami Notre Dame getting over those two is the fact that they played each other, and Miami has that win, that head-to-head win. But you could make an argument Utah could be they're certainly in that group. There's no doubt about it. And I maybe should have played that up a little bit more earlier. I apologize. I think there's something to that. Where's Vanderbilt? They're 10-2 too. This is the problem. I don't know how long do you guys want me to talk? This is the problem with the way college football is now. Because of recruiting, NIL, transfer portal, all of those things, the best players are now going to other schools to play today. All that talent that used to be really only in about 15 or 16 schools in the entire country for decades, it used to be the same schools over and over again, has now filtered out. And it's thinning the gap between these schools and conferences. Why is the SEC screaming so much? Because they can see the future. I guarantee you Greg Sankey hates hearing stuff like the Big 12 conferences they sold out their championship game. He don't want to hear any of that because it's a zero-sum game. If they're not watching the SEC, they're going to watch something else. So that's where it has changed. Everything's changed. NIL, transfer portal. You go in, you can build a team in a year or two. Ask Texas Tech. BYU's doing a little of that. Utah did it last year, entire offense. Go out and win games. That's what we're here for, right? Anyway, that's really good. Let's see here. Let me get to a few more. Let's see. Let's see here. Sean, BYU football, I guess. You do realize that a large amount of Texas Tech boosters reside in Dallas. Yeah, they stated buying suites and tickets to the game 6 weeks ago started. Yeah, I'm not claiming that BYU is going to be 60,000 people in the stadium. I'm not saying that. But I am saying they drew massive numbers when they played earlier in the year, and BYU has part of that. Yeah. Their EIBR. Is that right? Their EIBR. Rich, sucks to be a Ute fan these days, eh? Keep crying. Well, you guys going back and forth with Rich. He's passionate about what he believes. I appreciate that part, right? I don't always agree, but I appreciate that he has an opinion. He's willing to try to talk about it. Bulls fan, ESPN trying to make the Big 12 a second-tier conference while the commissioner is asleep at the wheel. Sounds exactly like a playbook ESPN is running against the Big East before it collapsed in 2012. There are nightmare scenarios, Bulls fan, that, believe me, keep me up at night. They do. Yeah, I'm trying not to think about those. We're going to wait for the offseason, but we're going to do some more data dives on viewers this last season, and things changed from last season to this season. And we're going to start to be able to track some of those changes and see what it matters out in the real world. But I want 2014 playoff, and they still could do that. It's still possible. It's not impossible. I think that's where we're going to call it close. So you guys are going back and forth. I don't need to get in the middle of that. I appreciate everybody joining me tonight. Thank you so much for coming on. Thank you so much for the new members. Thank you so much for the super chats. You guys are awesome. I appreciate you so much. Earl coming on and being a superstar. Let me quickly do shout outs for people because I can. Jason Watkins in the house, 21 months. Earl Carr gave 5 memberships. Thank you so much, Earl. Bulls fan gave $5 super chat. Let's see here. We got Champy gave a $5 super chat. Thank you so much, Champy. Bulls fan again gave another $5 super chat. Bulldog Mississippi gave a new membership, and that's paying it forward because he got a new membership for free. And Bulldog Mississippi, you got good things coming in your life. I promise you. It works, brother. It really works. PSU Nitwit coming in here and catching us up on the coaching changes at Penn State. Matt Campbell, I guess, 6 years, $10.5 million. They've at least offered. We'll have to track that after the show. Thank you so much, PSU Nitwit. Let me see if I've got anybody else. That's it. Those are all the super chats. That's everybody's super chats and memberships. I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you for being here tonight. And tomorrow night, we will be doing our big freaking Friday show. That's me, Moen, and Ute. I invite everybody to watch us tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern, and it's gonna get real tomorrow. It's gonna get real tomorrow. Moen represents Ohio State. Ute's going to come in, and I know kind of a direction he's going to go. I didn't touch it tonight on purpose, but there's a storyline in there with Utah and teams playing to try to get into the playoff and what that might look like in the future if possible. Well, we'll talk about that tomorrow night, and then of course we'll get all to your comments and suggestions and do our picks from last week. I don't even know. I never know how well I do until Moen tells me. You guys are awesome. I appreciate every one of you. I hope you have a great night, and we will see you tomorrow night. All right. We'll call that good. Appreciate you. We will go Cougars, and peace out. See ya.